कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में इतना सा फर्क है, एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Thank you so much, Kanika, for playing the corporate video of Franchise India that truly talks and depicts the kind of the vision and mission we follow. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome each one of you to our Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series. This is a digital representation of the business opportunity we have got under the title webinar. This is a 45-minute session where we have requested our brand founder and leadership team to digitally interact with you. We'll be taking you through the presentation so that you understand the entire business model completely and correctly. Then we'll move towards a panel discussion. So we request all of you to maximize your time and use question and answer box to share your queries. We welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am for this particular webinar. And the business opportunity which we are bringing for all of you comes from F&B Vertical Rasam. It's an award-winning pure vegetarian South Indian restaurant. And today we have invited Mr. Rajit, will be talking about this brand. They're offering 2 different business models for all of you. We also welcome and invite our very senior consultant, Mr. Anshul Bansal, who will share the presentation. But before I formally invite Anshul to talk about the brand, I would like to invite Rajit sir to start this particular webinar and share his vision and mission, how he started this particular journey. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in today to talk about your great brand. We look forward to have great webinar with you. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Archana ji. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction of our brand. So I'll just give a little bit of a brief to everyone about our brand Rasam. So Rasam is our pure veg South Indian restaurant. It's an award-winning restaurant, as ma'am had pointed out. We recently won the Times Food Guide Award in 2021. It's a 60-cover restaurant, and we serve Andhra cuisine and a lot of the local delicacies of South India. By God's grace and by the dedication of our team, our customers have given us a lot of love. And so a few small points about our brand, just to get you a little acquainted. One, of course, what our USPs are. So firstly, I would say our USP is that we focus a lot on our food quality. We provide fresh, healthy food. 2, it would be our hospitality standards, because Rasam, if you're not aware, is part of the Stadium Hotel in Salt Lake. It's a 4-star hotel. And so our hospitality standards are according to that. So we focus a lot on that, on maintaining very, very robust SOPs and great service standards. Number three, our third USP would be that we are pure vegetarian. So that's something we felt was a need in the market when we started it off in 2006. So we opened on Pongal, coincidentally. It was done on purpose. Since then, it's been 15 years since our brand has been here. And it has just been growing year on year. And we are really, really thankful for all the love that people of Calcutta have been showing us. So I think this is what I wanted to say once we introduce it. Over to you, Anshulji.
Sure. Thank you very much, Rajatji. This is a very good introduction. You've set the context. Of course, friends, Rasam is a wonderful brand from Kolkata. Of course, as Rajatji has mentioned, it's part of a deemed 4-star hospitality known as Staddle. And of course, the group has vast experience in food business, given their presence in hospitality, real estate, and many other diversified businesses that they're into. So all that experience and expertise is brought to you from the company, apart from the USPs that brand itself has, being a pure vegetarian restaurant, excellent recipes, and very good price points. So we'll get into the details of this brand. Please allow me to share my screen and bring up this presentation. Here we are. I hope this is visible for everyone.
Yes, Anshul. Can we just go? Yeah, thanks.
Right. So, friends, this is our, image of the restaurant that we're talking about here. And this is Rasam, a pure veg, 60 covers. So Rasam is a 60 cover casual dining, pure vegetarian restaurant. And as you saw in the previous image, very nicely done set up in terms of the interior fit outs, the customer experience, and overall look and feel of the setup. Right. As Rajatji has also mentioned, offers healthy, fresh, pocket-friendly, enjoyable area of mouth-watering vegetarian South Indian dishes, which is very well received by customers from across Kolkata. Right. And companies also receive very good response on food portals like Zomato and Swiggy both. So not only dine-in, we are also looking at very strong revenue streams coming in from online orders and takeaway orders. You can see on Zomato, the rating is 4+, Swiggy, the rating is 4.3. So very well received from the online orders point of view also, right? So getting into the details of the group itself, so Bhutoria family is a very well-known name in Kolkata and has business interests in real estate, hospitality, and many other diversified sectors, right? As their first venture in hospitality, they've set up a deemed 4-star hotel known as Staddle. So under this, so Rasam is actually part of Staddle itself, right? Staddle as a hotel, it offers various services, rooms, suites, specialty award-winning restaurants, bars, bakery, and many other facilities that a 4-star hotel should be offering. So in a way, this brings a comprehensive experience for the company in food service and customer service business, right? And the experience in running this hotel is replicated in also, passing on the same experience at Rasam also, right? So I would like to invite Rajatji to talk more about the brand, about the group first, and then we get into the details of Rasam as a brand. Please, Rajatji.
Thank you, Anshulji. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction to the brand and to our group. Just a few more words maybe on that. So yes, we've been in the industry for a while. Hospitality, yes, Staddle is one of our hospitality ventures. We have in the past also held on to a hotel in Digha called Hotel Host. We also have started a new e-commerce venture called Cremcup.in, which is a bakery tech startup. And we do have some interest in real estate. We've been builders for over 30, 35 years now. Also, we work with the government closely on infrastructure projects. And we have some smaller interests in IT as well, where we have a firm called Ansel Tech, which develops apps and websites, etc., into the IT infrastructure. So coming back to who we are, who represents the brand. On the next slide, you'd find our Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Anil Bhatoria, who unfortunately could not be here today due to some urgent matters, and myself as one of the directors of the company. So that's that from my end, Rajat. Anything else that I could?
Sure. So friends, this is very important point, with the experience in hospitality already, you can be rest assured in terms of the vendor relationships, the product size, raw material sourcing, all that is streamlined, right? Also, the experience also, comes in terms of the food recipes. The South Indian dishes that company offers also have that standard of a 4-star hospitality hotel industry. So you can be rest assured, both in terms of the quality of the recipe and also the quality of raw material, consistency of raw material that you would receive from the company. We'll talk about the supply chain part a little later, but there are certain special ingredients that company would be, giving it to you, while most of the other ingredients, materials can be sourced from approved vendors, approved brands, and some of the perishable, consumable items can be sourced locally from the market. So we have devised a complete plan in order to, help you with a very robust supply chain structure. So moving ahead, we come to our USPs, food quality and hygiene. As I mentioned, the experience from Stardal, a 4-star hotel setup, that is reflected very well in the food quality and standard of recipes, menu that we want to offer under Rasam, right? Pure vegetarian concept and hospitality standards, as I'm saying again and again. So these are key components of the brand, and you would, and we're going to invite to visit us at the restaurant itself to experience firsthand in terms of the food and the other services. Some of our pictures. So current setup is at 1200 square feet. It's a casual dining setup with 60 covers. And as you can see, the 2 images. So some of our pictures from our food, you can see our thali system. There is idli, and then of course, as you all know, South Indian means dosa. So we have a very wonderful dosa with wholesome curries alongside it, right? Popular dishes, and this is what our customers have given us: masala dosa, filter coffee, idli, medu vada. We also do some not so South Indian, but very Punjabi sort of dishes like a pav bhaji, vada from West. So it is not only South Indian, but there is also a mix of a few other items. We also do biryanis, which typically is an Andhra dish, but we brought that in this setup also. People know it's great food and great service, which of course is remnants of our experience from our hotel setup. Variation in the menu, pocket-friendly price points, great South Indian food, and top it all, the experience and expertise of the management, right? So this covers a very good value proposition for you to join hands with Rasam today. You're not getting into a young business here. This is an experienced hospitality group is running this restaurant, and also with the restaurant also they're very successful both in terms of their offline service to customers and also very strong in terms of online orders and catering to home delivery orders, right? Average price points between 400 to 500 for 2 people, which is very competitive. And in next few slides you will see this is almost at par with what Haldiram's or Shri Ratnam or a Sagar Ratna right? So at par price points, experience and expertise of a 4-star hospitality setup. Some of the awards, so group has been, very well received in terms of the awards. Yeah. So most popular South Indian restaurant at Times Hospitality Icons 2019. So that's one of the recent awards. Then company also received award in 2021. This is very, very recent. Awarded Best South Indian Casual Dining, Best South Delivery. For delivery, especially South Indian food for delivery is not known so much. But company has developed that expertise also to be Best South Indian for delivery business. And this is at the Times Food and Nightlife Awards 2021. So very recently, we've been awarded this award also. So Rajat, I would like you to talk a little bit about this award, especially on the delivery side, and how you are keeping that delivery as a very key component function, how we're executing that part.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anshulji. Yes, so this is the award that we were anticipating for a very long time. We were taking all our efforts to try and get this. We've been nominated a few times before this, every year, in fact. And finally, we got this much coveted award. Since the Times Food and Nightlife Award is considered to be the Bible of food awards in the city as well as in the country. So yes, we were very, very proud to receive the Best South Indian for casual dining and also for delivery. We did focus, we always had our focus on delivery. We felt that, South Indian is a kind of cuisine which can become like a daily staple. People prefer having it at any point of time. So it can be something you can have for lunch or dinner. It could also be something that you can snack in the evening. It goes great as a breakfast item as well.
Yes.
So we felt that why limit it to just people coming into the restaurant? We should maybe open it up for people to have and enjoy it at home as well. And it was very well received. Initially, when we started it off, we were just giving out some basic items. And then later on, we developed our expertise to make sure our packaging was done in such a way that it would not get spoiled. We do have some insulated packaging also, which our third-party platforms also use. And we have some delivery mechanism of our own as well, some of our bikers who also provide the food for within a radius of around 3 to 5 kilometers. We've noticed growth, of course, with Corona coming in. People stopped going out as much in between, but their home deliveries didn't stop, thankfully. And our delivery revenues grew. So much so that we noticed that last we checked, it was between 25 and 30% of our revenue was coming only through delivery. So that was quite, we were quite happy about that. And we hope that this keeps growing in the time to come.
Sure.
Over to you, Anshulji, you're on.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Friends, as I'm saying, some of our testimonials. So while you visit us on Zomato or Swiggy or even Facebook, even Instagram, you will see many more of these testimonials we receive very frequently from the customers, right? And it's not only for the South Indian food, you will see it is for dosa, pav bhaji, and overall for the management, great food, great service. So these are some of the testimonials that we have captured here, but there are many more if you visit us on our social media pages. So now coming to a very important aspect, I think this is market mapping, and Rasam as a brand is well positioned with its fast casual format and an average price points of INR 500. As you can see, as I said earlier, at par with brands like Sagar Ratna, Shri Ratnam, and Haldiram's Prabhuji in Kolkata, and at a price point of 500. Value proposition for Rasam would be one, of course, favorable market trends and conditions, ideal market positioning, which is at the right price points, right format, a dining restaurant which also supports home deliveries and takeaways, strong credibility, vast experience with the hotel industry. We've also looked at multiple formats. We'll talk about that. Adaptable business formats. So not only casual dine, but we also have a QSR, a food court, wide and evolving menu mix, which we can continue to add. Affordable matching investors bandwidth ranging from 15 to 45 lakhs. So it enables all investors to get on with the brand. Reasonable financial performance, industry at par ROI estimate, so about 2 years break even for both the formats. And very, very important is a well-established, given group's presence in hotel industry already. We have very strong vendor relationships maintained, so you can be rest assured of raw material supplies and any other materials you pay consistently and at a very good price points also. Right. So franchise expansion, offering 2 formats that ideally suits every investor's investment bandwidth. 2 formats are, one is of course the casual dine setup. The images that you saw between 800 to 1200 square feet, about a 60 cover setup, total investment of between 45 to 50 lakh rupees. And this restaurant, we believe, should be able to do an annual sales of close to 1 CR, right? That's about 8-9 lakh rupee, 10 lakh rupee business, right? The second format we want to bring now is a kiosk or a food court, ideally a takeaway led format, which is between 250 to 500 square feet. This could be with a little bit of a sitting or without sitting also. Total investment of 15 lakhs. And in this setup, we believe 45 to 50 lakh rupee annual business, or on an average 4 to 5 lakh rupee monthly business is what we should be able to achieve. We already have a performance benchmark for casual dining, which you can visit at Staddle. Kiosk, food court or takeaway counters, we don't have that as of now, but we're very sure that could also be a very successful format like we have the casual dining restaurant with us. Some of our key operational expenses, and I'm sure this is what you would also want to understand. Food cost at 18%, and this is linked to our very strong vendor relationships and our product sourcing that we're able to bring down our cost to 18% or so. Royalty of 5%, which is linked to your monthly sales. You pay a 5% royalty to the company. Marketing 2.5%, which is 2% locally spent by you, and 0.5% coming to the company. So company can then help you with the central marketing activity, bringing in some sort of celebrities and many other activities that company would want to do. Right. Promotional schemes and discounts. This is again a function which is jointly executed by company and by you, so that can be done. Staff cost between 18 to 22%, rentals between 12 to 16%, delivery and packaging expenses depending on the amount of deliveries, online orders we receive. This we see ranges between 6 to 8-9% or so, right? Utilities, which typically is your electric bill, telephone bill, site maintenance, credit card clearances, and many other small expenses. So that's about on an average around 10% of the sales. Overall, we should be looking at a net profit of between 15 to 20%, which means for a casual dine at a sales projection of 1 crore, you're easily looking at 17-18 lakh rupee monthly, 17-18 lakh rupee annual profits. And for a food court setup, this would mean between 8 to 10 lakh rupee annual profit. Right. So which also means that ROIs would be very close to 2 years mark. So very important point to note here, friends, the food cost is 18%. Many other restaurant chains you would see would be between 27 to 30%. Company, because of their experience in hospitality, because of their strong vendor relationships, optimized recipes, their chefs at the hotel itself have designed the recipes very efficiently. And that's why the portion sizing is optimized. MRP's dishes pricing is very well set. So that ensures that your food cost is around 18%. A very, very important consideration. You're immediately saving 7-8% cost there from the raw material point of view. Right? So that's a straight advantage you get by associating with Rasam as compared to any other brand. Right. So partner profile, from a unit franchise point of view, there are 3 partners that we're very keen to associate with. And this would be FO, which means a franchise-owned, franchise-operated association. We keen to look at conversion franchises. So if you have a location with you, or you're running a restaurant already, which is ideally suited for a South Indian setup, so we'd like to explore that opportunity with you. And convert that setup into a Rasam restaurant. So that is one. Second, property owners also, whether it's a food court or a takeaway unit on a high street, or something that we can look at setting up a casual dining restaurant up to 1,000 square feet. So property owners are well invited to discuss this proposal. And third, of course, new investors, young entrepreneurs looking to get on a high growth food business backed by a very strong management and experienced team. So this could be a very interesting opportunity for young entrepreneurs to join hands with. Right. At the same time, we are also keen to explore opportunities for master franchise contracts, which is outside of Kolkata. All major East Indian region markets. If you look at, for example, Patna, Bhubaneswar, Ranchi, Jamshedpur, even in further eastern region, Guwahati, and the 7 states that we have. So a master franchise, we're looking to set up a master franchise contract there. Rights to sub-franchise, you start with setting up first by yourself. It could be a food court, or it could be a casual dine. Preferably, it should be a casual dine. So it gives you enough structure or enough setup to support the future units in your market. And then the further units can be sub-franchised, right? Ideally, looking at a minimum commitment of 5 units. This could be a master franchise, for example, or a combination of cities. So, for example, in Odisha, you can do Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, Puri. 3 cities combined together can easily give you 5-6 units, right? If you add Raulkela and Sambalpur also, there could be an opportunity to get to 10 stores within Odisha itself. So that combination will work it out with you. We have shown some of the markets in our next slide. That's here. Very keen to focus on East India region in phase 1. Companies based out of Kolkata and in a very good position to support our franchise partners in East India region in phase 1, both as a master franchisee or a direct units also. We have existing vendors with us. We have our teams. Marketing can be done easily. So focus on Eastern India region in phase 1 to bring these initial set of units. Of course, the overall plan is to go to Pan India, starting with East India first, then looking at North, and then other markets. Right. So key support functions, as has been mentioned, access to brand name and legacy with companies' reputation, very strong credibility in Kolkata and West Bengal. Scalable business format, so you can look at setting up this unit at mall, high street, travel retail, education hub, corporate location, within a hotel, like we've already done at Stadel. So similarly, many other 4-star, 5-star properties, this can be integrated very well. Right. Complete IP of efficiently running a South Indian restaurant that company will bring to you. Right. In pre-opening stage, company would help you with finalizing the location, designing your restaurant, furniture, fixture, equipment sourcing, complete training on recipes and doing the dishes, supply chain guidance, recipe support, and menu engineering. So menu engineering means there could be certain items which are very well received in your market, which may not be there on the menu already, but we are in a position to create or innovate on the menu also. While in the post-opening phase, raw material supplies, of course, that will be taken care of. Continuous evolution of menu and price points. So we continuously work with you to innovate on the menu. Local store marketing plan, product supplies, teams, and standard of operations. So a complete support is what company will bring in right from your location selection to ensuring that your operations are very efficiently done. Right. So that's what we are looking at here. That should be end of our small presentation. I hope this is helpful, and we've been able to take you through the brand and the overall growth.
Thank you so much, Anshul, and thank you so much, Rajat ji, for putting this presentation for all our investors and coming on this webinar. And all our friends, I'll also request you, since we've completed the presentation, I will request if you have any questions that you want to ask on the business model. If you already have a location and you want to run the business on that location, please feel free to put these in the Q&A box, and we'll take them with your name and the city. Don't forget to mention the city. So just to quickly recap the model, friends, we have Rajat ji, who is an entrepreneur, he's a business owner, and he comes with more than about 10 years of experience and has been managing multiple businesses across industry. The parent company of Rasam also comes with very rich experience in the hotel industry, and they run a very popular hotel in Kolkata, Stadel. And the category overall is very, very interesting. This is a cuisine which is loved and accepted all across the country. And why I say this business or category is interesting, because this has long trading hours, unlike many other food businesses, which are either a lunch phenomena, dinner phenomena, but a business like this starts as early as morning. So you have long trading hours, and also the business has a higher efficiency because of these trading hours. We're talking about two formats. One is a food court format, and the other is a CDR format. And the investment bracket that we typically are looking at is between 15 to 48 odd lakhs. So Rajat ji, just to start off with, and friends, I'll welcome all questions that you want to ask. So I'll start first and foremost, a little bit about yourself, and you have been in this business for very, very long. If you can let all viewers know a little bit about the journey so far, and what took to starting this business of Rasam.
Thank you so much, Sonia ji. So we started this journey off in 2006, and this is the journey of Rasam. We felt that at that point of time, there was this hope. We felt that people were looking for great South Indian food. There weren't many options available at that point of time for pure West South Indian food. We realized that it was universally loved by people. So it was something that has universal appeal, and that's how it started off. We got overwhelming response from the get-go, to be very honest. There were some people who came to us and they were like, why didn't anybody else think of this before? So we've had responses like that. We've just been very, very consistent in one thing. We've just always kept in mind that we believe in the concept of less is more. We wanted to make sure that we focus on whatever we are doing, and whatever it is we do, we should do it well. So we started off with a very small menu initially, but we made sure that every dish on the menu was up to the mark. We did our best. We put in all our love, blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that we could give to our customers the best product. And we've tried to stay consistent since then. And it's been the word of mouth, basically, which has been the best kind of marketing for us, which has made us last in this industry for 15 years now and running.
And that's a big achievement, is what I would say.
Thank you.
And now understanding on how a unit economics would also work, while we have seen broadly on the various expenses, if I can take a little bit time and we can explain on the breakup of the overall cost that we've talked about, the 15 lakhs and the 48 lakhs, what all would entail in that investment. So yes, to start off with, yes, that would be my question on the business.
Perfect. So we'll start off with the CDR format, which would be the restaurant, the casual dining restaurant. Like Anshulji had rightly mentioned, we already have one such restaurant in Salt Lake. I invite everybody to please come and visit and try it out. I think that would be the best way to understand the business model and what we have to offer. But coming to the numbers, I think let me first define the size of the restaurant. Typically, it's between 800 and 1200 square feet. The one that we have here in Salt Lake is 1200 square feet. Our total investment that we see for the setup is around 45 to 50 lakh rupees. The breakup of that would be under infrastructure. So to set up the interiors, the artwork, the air conditioning, etc., it would come to somewhere around 23 to 25 odd lakhs. We'd be looking at equipment. So we have kitchen equipment, restaurant equipment, which need to be kept in inventory. That would come to somewhere around 17 odd lakhs, 17 to 18 lakhs rupees. We have, of course, there is business promotion, which is very important. And you also have compliances, which need to be taken care of. That would come to somewhere around between a 3 and a 4 lakh rupees. And we have franchise fees. There's a one-time franchise fee that we charge, which is 4 lakh rupees. So altogether, even including the franchise fees, it comes to around 45 to 48 lakhs for the CDR format. And shall I also discuss the kiosk format, please? Perfect. So the kiosk format is somewhat of a new format. Currently have not started off a kiosk yet. There are some plans in the pipeline. We are in talks with some malls and some other property owners. So the kiosk model typically would require between a 250 to 500 square feet space. There the total cost would come to somewhere around 15 lakh rupees odd, where the infrastructure would be around 4.5 lakhs. Your equipment would be 5.5 lakhs odd. Your business promotion and compliances would be around 2 lakhs or so. And your franchise fees for that would be lower than the CDR format. It would be 3 lakh rupees.
So that's helpful. Rajatji, now going on the expenses, I saw one question which I saw from Priyabrata Dashi, and maybe you can also add on to that. So I like to give a little, understanding. Food business typically, has one of the biggest component is the food cost, and which is typically about 30-35%. But in case of Rasam, and being a South Indian category here, the beauty is your food cost is low, and your other cost, especially for I would say a CDR format, because it is a restaurant which requires servicing to happen, so your manpower is comparatively higher. So just to give maybe a thumb rule, for any food business, your absolute margins are somewhere around 15 to 20% before I would say taxes and depreciation, because about 15 to 20% is typically that goes towards your rental. Then there's another cost of about 30-35%, which is for food. In this case, because this category is South Indian, I had the food cost, and also because their own experience, I would say, in the hotel industry. And this is one area where a lot of companies go wrong. If you don't have right control on the food cost, your entire margins in the food can be completely eroded. And this is one thing which is completely in our control. You cannot control your rentals, you cannot control the manpower, you have to invest that kind of money. And unlike other companies which come with a investment, which come with a royalty of anything between 6 to 8% average, the company is charging about 5% as a royalty on the overall sales. So, and the absolute margins, like I said, is 15 to 20%, Mr. Saha. And this is something which is rational. Any food brand would not have margins beyond that. Even if you do your own calculation of food cost, rental, occupancy, and utility cost, all that would convert to at least about 75 to 80 odd % cost. So 85% of that, I would say, is very, very rational. And we have, that's very rare, Mr. Dash. 40 to 50% is not possible unless because you need to give rentals, and rentals cannot be less than 15 to 20%. You need to have manpower, which again is about 18 to 22% of your entire revenue that you make, you also need to have other expenses of utility, which are higher, and all these put together cannot be less than 80%, and we'll be more than happy to maybe have one-to-one discussion to explain that to you. So Rajatji, and would you want to comment, on any other expenses, because we're talking about expenses which are for in-house dining. Are we also looking at any kind of commission structure which goes to the platforms like Swiggy, Zomato? And if that typically, how much of your overall sales that we are looking at comes from platforms like this, and how much of that comes from the dining or takeaway?
Right, ma'am. So yes, the platforms have become a very critical part of revenues for any food business. We have definitely factored that into our expenses. Typically, it goes between 23% and 27%. In some cases, they've even been charging 30%. Since they have a long relationship with us, we've tried to keep it below 25% on average, taking discounting and other promotions into consideration. Like I had mentioned earlier, we've typically seen that our delivery revenue is accounting for 25 to 30% of your revenues. So not having that as part of our expenses would not be wise, in my opinion.
And see, I'll also take, a question, because when we talk about food as an industry, a lot of people, and that's my own experience also, we work with many entrepreneurs, we work with many companies, and most people come, rather I would say, they don't come with the food experience. And I saw that question coming from one of our investors or participants, I would say, in the event. He says, I don't come with food experience. So is that something which is a deterrent, is one question? And if not typical, what kind of trainings are we imparting so that the partner has complete understanding on day-to-day operations, and equally their teams are trained to run day-to-day business?
Right. Firstly, that's a very, very good question. I think in this case, even I would have been a little anxious about this, but rest assured, when we entered the hospitality business as well, we were not from hospitality. So it was the generation before me. I am the second generation that started and their foray into hospitality. And since we right now are at a nascent stage where we are running our own businesses, and this is our first foray into franchising. So rest assured, we're not looking at just franchising the business. We're looking for partners who we will work with together to make sure that their business also gets successful. And if their business is successful, automatically the brand grows. So we're looking at partners for the brand. So we will help you. We understand that, it is desirable, yes. If you've been in the F&B, it just gives you more confidence. But it is not a deterrent for you to get into this. There are certain standards in place which will guide you. And we will personally be working with you to make sure that we will be able to manage the business together.
And would we also have, I also heard we talked about some of the important locations within maybe East India or even Kolkata that can also be assisted, where a franchisee can take your assistance and open. So apart from Salt Lake, where we currently run, which are the other important spots within Kolkata that you currently see demand maybe coming in, or potential locations, is one thing which I wanted to understand. And maybe right. Kolkata as a city, how many locations do you think you would want to hold in the city overall?
So ma'am, what we've seen is right now Calcutta, earlier what we knew as Central Calcutta, that whole concept is changing. So the center of Calcutta is moving. I mean, Calcutta is growing and growing rapidly. So earlier, typically, it was just the south of Calcutta, which was considered to be the central of Calcutta. But now that has changed. Salt Lake has itself become a mini city of sorts. Then there is New Town beyond. You have a very large catchment area in Barrackpur. So I'm hearing a lot of good things about that space. So that could be a great avenue to explore. Of course, the south of Calcutta also has not been explored yet by us, since we are in Salt Lake. So that could again be a great avenue, somewhere like a Park Street, like a Mac Street, or Russell Street, Sarat Bose Road. There are so many areas. I feel that South Indian is very widely accepted. And we've had a lot of people tell us that why are we not replicating this in the south of Kolkata or in Alipur, for example. So so far we've not really gone into this, but now with the help of Franchise India, we are trying to get into different markets as well. So within Calcutta, yes, I would say that there is enough scope within Calcutta to have quite a few outlets, and even beyond. Siliguri is a great market. I'm hearing great things about it. Assam is a great market. Guwahati is a great market. Bihar is a great market as well. Raipur is a great market. And I think there is a large vegetarian crowd there also.
Yes.
So, we could definitely explore those opportunities together.
And Rajatji, how does the supply chain overall work? Are we supplying the entire product, in a certain form to a franchisee, or all that is something which is cooked directly at the outlet? So do we have some proprietary recipes, products, sauces that are supplied to the partner, or, what kind of a setup do we have?
Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, we've tried to keep it fairly simple for our franchise partners. We've not kept everything proprietary because, like I had mentioned earlier, we try and focus on fresh food. So what we do is there are some proprietary spice mixes that we provide from our end. And the rest, what we do is we share our recipe, we train the chefs to operate on their own. So we're trying to follow a model wherein there are some preferred brands that we will recommend you to use for certain ingredients. And there will be some perishables which can be sourced from the open market.
Okay. And all right. And because this is one category, where every region has their own typical taste. North India would have a different taste of South Indian food. East and Kolkata would have a different taste of South Indian food. So every region we go, even the South Indian as a category, with more spicy, milder, sweeter, so different variants all across. And also, sometimes when we run the outlet, franchisee gets skeptical if the head chef or the guy moves out, they would not have that consistency of taste. So are we ensuring that all across our locations, is that only through the proprietary, I would say, mix of masalas, or there is anything, on the training side or other procurements which are standardized, which also adds on that standardization?
Ma'am, of course, the standardization becomes very, very, very important. If I may take the opportunity to give a small example of an incident that happened with us. So we had our head chef who was heading Rasam for the longest time. He was with us for 9+ years. Recently, last year, we lost him due to COVID. So, everybody was very scared as to how this would happen. But our standards ensured that the food quality has not changed. We have not received any guest complaints. So much so that our guests are not even aware that there has been a change in the kitchen department, in the production department. So their standards are in place. Our recipe management is very strong. Our recipe costing is very, very strong. We ensure that we keep a tight vigil over our food quality, and we do not compromise on the ingredients that we use. So I really don't think that should be a problem.
And Rajatji, one thing, because you started the business and you came with no background, if there was one tip or two things that you would want to maybe, tell your franchise partners to make the operations or business, I would say, overall successful, what would be that one or two things that you would want to emphasize upon?
Right, ma'am. I would feel like in any other business, there would be a few things. One, we would have to learn on the go. So we have to be quick learners. We have to pick up whatever is happening around us. We have to be ethical. It's what we have always prided ourselves on, that we will not cut corners. So ethics could be from any perspective. We will always be compliant. We will make sure that we provide the best quality products to our customers. We will make sure that we give them the best possible service that we possibly can. So that is another important aspect. And the third would be to be patient and to have energy. So we have to be resilient. We have to be dedicated. The F&B line from the outside might look easy. It is great fun, no doubt, but it takes a lot of work as well. And ultimately that work pays off. This is what we've observed.
Absolutely, you're bang on. And I would also add, and food is one area which also requires a lot of your operational time. So I would request anybody, friends, if you're keen to explore, you need to have your own time involvement into day-to-day operations. And also request that you take training yourself and have somebody in the family also who becomes a part and parcel of the running and operations of the business. So with this, Rajitji, I will also request as we close, if you want to give any message to our audience. And friends, we are holding a discovery day where you can also experience the brand Rasam. We would also like to invite you to the location where they currently run, and all of you, which I think I see a lot of people, if you're from Kolkata, many of you can rather experience and do a tour of the outlet, and we would welcome you and facilitate that at our end. And the date is 9th of December. All our investors or interested, I would say, prospects who are looking for anywhere outside Kolkata and for reasons you're not able to manage to be physically present, we can put a dedicated time slot for you on the 9th of December, which can be through a virtual like Zoom, or we can even do a telephonic calls. And in the meantime, we also have our teams in Kolkata who are leading the project. They would ensure that they share the entire information with you, even the working on the financials. We'll also like to receive your feedback on the property locations that would be interesting for you. And accordingly, we'll take it up. And Rajivji, I see you raising your hand. I will request, if you have a question, please use Q&A box and I will take it up. We cannot unmute you. Rajitji, I see somebody, I don't see the name though. It says Odisha. Is that something that we would be open at the initial stage?
Mm-hmm. So again, Odisha is a very, very interesting market. And since it's logistically close as well, Bengal, we would definitely be interested in moving into that market in case we have interested partners.
Okay. And would we go to markets without an area franchisee in that market? Because we are talking about two models, area as well as the unit franchisee. So if there are locations outside east of India or Kolkata, I would say, would we be open for exploring a unit or we would look at only a partner area coming and then we would sub-franchise?
Ma'am, I feel that in case it's another state, we can definitely look at unit franchisee. But we would, it would be preferable if they first went into a CDR format, wherein they had a kitchen, or else if they were very insistent on going into a kiosk model, that could also be worked out. But then they would ideally have to have a central kitchen or a base kitchen there. So then multiple kiosks would probably be the way forward for them.
And friends, I'll request if you need more information on the kitchen and the throughput of the kitchen and how many outlets it can serve, we look forward to receiving your inquiries. And 9th of December is the day we're keeping our Discovery Day. I will also request all of you to reach out on the hotline number of Franchise India, which is 9717683838. And also our email ID, which is feedback@franchiseindia.in. Any feedback that you have, if you want to block your time, please reach on these numbers and we'll facilitate all that for you. So Rajitji, before we close, I'll request if you want to, give a message to our audience. And what is the brand name of? Yes, sorry, I was reading a question, Rajitji. Over to you.
No, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would just like to thank everybody for spending some time with us, for giving us their time to understand our brand. And I would like to invite everyone personally on the 9th or any other day of their choosing to come over to experience Rasam and to partner with us and to do great things together. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajitji. And I would say, this is a credible business that you've built, and your also experience in the industry so far will also go a long way in making this business sustainable for franchisees. So friends, our immediate markets absolutely is east of India. Any locations outside, we would be happy to consider case-to-case basis. And like Setuaji mentioned, he already has a property of 3,000 square feet. Setuaji, I'll request we come on a one-to-one call so that we can get more details and come out on modalities of the arrangement. So thank you so much, friends, for being with us. And thank you so much, Rajitji, for coming and spending this 1 hour with all our audience today. It has been a privilege to have you with us indeed. And I will also now request Ashna, if you can kindly take it over for the closing remarks.
Sure. So thank you so much, sir, for joining in today. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. Thanks, Anshu. Thanks all the dear friends for joining in today and attended this particular webinar. Do reach out to us at our business hotline number, which is 9717683838. We have shared our email ID in chat box. Please make a note of it. Also, share your valuable suggestion and feedback with us at our different social handles. And in case you wish to understand more about different business opportunities, about industry aspects, please connect with Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their LinkedIn platform. I have just shared the email ID on the screen. And tomorrow, under our iconic brand webinar, which is scheduled for 5 p.m., we are inviting you to join us for Cuisina, the brand which is a multi-brand cloud kitchen franchise brand. The founder, Mr. Gautam, will come and talk about this business opportunity. So don't miss this chance. Join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. by doing registration. It's very easy to get yourself registered with us. Just go to our Facebook page where we have shared the registration link, or connect with us at our business hotline number to obtain our registration link. Thank you once again for joining in today. Look forward to have you for our Discovery Day on 9th of December. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Have a great day ahead.